No woman wants a lover who shows up the same way every single time. You already know this, and somewhere in the back of her mind, so does she. It's the mix of variety, playfulness, and just a hint of adventurous edge that turns good intimacy into something she can't stop thinking about. I'm Dr. Nerita, a urologist and men's health specialist with 12 years of experience working directly with men on these exact issues. And today I'm going to walk you through 6 fun, exciting, and completely achievable things that a large number of women secretly wish for, but often feel too hesitant to voice out loud. These aren't extreme or out of reach fantasies. These are genuinely thrilling, safe, and purposeful ideas designed to pull you and your partner closer together rather than push boundaries in ways that feel uncomfortable. If you're willing to show up, pay attention, and lead with intention and care, you'll create experiences she'll find herself wanting to relive, and you'll find yourself enjoying every bit of it just as much. But before we get into it, I want to know something. Where in the world are you tuning in from today? Go ahead and drop it in the comments section below. I genuinely love watching this community expand across different countries and continents, and while you're at it, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. It lets me know that you want more straightforward, honest men's health content delivered right to you without the fluff or the filters. Now, let's start by dismantling a belief that holds far too many men back. There's a widespread assumption that women prefer their intimate experiences to be slow, tender, and strictly romantic. That they have no interest in anything adventurous, bold, or outside the traditional script. That assumption is simply wrong. Here's what's actually going on beneath the surface. A significant number of women genuinely crave novelty, intensity, and a sense of playful risk in their intimate lives, but they rarely say so directly. And why is that? Because from a very young age, society conditions women to be agreeable, to avoid being judged, and to stay quiet about desires that might be misread or misunderstood. So what this means for you is that she may already be sitting there quietly hoping that you'll be the one to introduce something fresh into your shared space. Not to shock her, not to pressure her in any direction, but to open a door and invite her through it together, slowly, with complete respect and mutual enthusiasm. And when you learn how to navigate that the right way, with patience, with clear communication, and with genuine consent at every step, you stop being just a partner, and you become the kind of man she not only trusts completely, but actively aches to discover new things with. As a urologist, I've spent over a decade doing more than addressing physical health concerns. I've helped countless men rebuild their confidence, repair their sense of self, and reclaim their intimate lives in a real and lasting way. And here's something I've learned that most people don't talk about enough. Performance, stamina, and desire aren't solely the product of hormones or cardiovascular health. They are deeply tied to psychology, to how well two people communicate, and to the variety that exists within their connection. Her brain is, without question, her most powerful sexual organ. When you feed her mind with curiosity, with the thrill of not knowing what comes next, with the excitement of genuine anticipation, her body follows naturally and enthusiastically. But when you neglect that mental and emotional dimension, it doesn't matter how physically fit you are or how long you last. The spark quietly dims all the same. So today I'm giving you 6 meaningful, real-world things that women secretly want to explore but don't always know how to bring up. For each one, I'll cover 3 angles. The biology, meaning what's physically happening inside her body, the emotion, meaning what she feels in that moment, and the practicality, meaning exactly how you make it happen without things getting awkward or forced. Stay with me all the way through, because the final 2 on this list are the ones that the overwhelming majority of men completely miss, and yet they have the potential to completely transform your entire intimate life. Number 6, bringing a vibrator into the experience together. Your first thought might be something like, I should be enough on my own. Why would I need to introduce a toy? And I understand that instinct completely. But here's the reality. The majority of women reach climax most reliably and most powerfully through consistent, focused stimulation of the clitoris. Your hands are wonderful, your mouth is incredible, your body connecting with hers is irreplaceable. But none of those things can always maintain the exact same rhythm or level of precision that an external device can provide. Biologically speaking, a vibrator delivers continuous, targeted stimulation to the clitoral nerve network, which contains close to 8,000 nerve endings. That's roughly twice the number found in the entire penis. When her brain receives that kind of steady, reliable input, it signals a cascade of endorphins and oxytocin throughout her body, setting the stage for stronger orgasms and even multiple ones in the same session. On the emotional side, when you confidently bring a toy into the experience, What she hears underneath the gesture is this: your pleasure matters deeply to me, and I want you to have more of it, not less. That kind of message is profoundly arousing. In terms of how to actually do it, keep things relaxed and simple. Start with something small and external. Don't toss it onto the mattress like you're unboxing a gadget. Just smile, make eye contact, and say something like, I thought we could try this together tonight. Want to use it while I kiss you? Begin on the lowest setting, over clothing, or gently against the outer area. Follow her responses and let her body guide the pace. What ends up happening is that she begins to connect her most satisfying experiences with you, not with the toy itself, because you are the one orchestrating the entire thing. Number 5, blindfolds and the art of sensory play. The moment you remove her ability to see, every other sensation in her body gets dialed up. She has no idea where your lips are going next, where your hands might travel, what comes after the pause. That uncertainty sends anticipation through the roof. From a biological standpoint, when one sense goes offline, the remaining senses compensate by becoming significantly more acute. Her skin receptors increase in sensitivity. Her brain begins releasing dopamine in response to the unpredictability of each moment, because it genuinely doesn't know what's coming. Emotionally, there's something beautifully paradoxical about it. She's surrendering control, but she's doing it willingly because she trusts you. That combination of vulnerability and total safety is genuinely intoxicating. On the practical side, use something soft, a silk scarf, a quality sleep mask, nothing that digs into her face or feels restrictive. Before you begin, agree on a nonverbal signal together, something like 1 squeeze of your hand to mean slow down, 2 squeezes to mean stop entirely. Then resist the urge to go straight to the obvious places. Travel to the spots that often get overlooked: the soft skin behind her knees, the curve of her ribs, the dip of her hips, the delicate inside of her arms. Narrate your movements in a low, quiet voice. Say something like, I'm kissing just below your collarbone right now. I'm moving lower. Not yet, though. By the time you actually arrive somewhere significant, she's already so immersed in anticipation that her response is that much more intense. Number 4, dirty talk, done correctly. This is not about being crude for the sake of it or using language that feels out of character. This is about tapping directly into 2 of her most powerful psychological turn-ons: feeling genuinely desired and feeling truly seen by you. Biologically, words carry weight in a very literal sense. When she hears unmistakable desire in your voice, her brain's arousal pathways activate, and her body responds with increased blood flow and natural lubrication. On the emotional level, saying something like, the way your skin feels right now is unreal, or I notice exactly how you react when I touch you there, makes her feel treasured and fully present in the moment, rather than like just a body in a bed. In terms of making it work practically, start with simple, honest observations. Let it build gradually. Add intention to your words. I want to make this last as long as possible for you, or I'm going to make sure you can't think about anything else tonight. Keep your delivery grounded and confident rather than rushed or nervous. One thing that makes a real difference: have a brief, casual conversation outside of the bedroom at some point about whether she enjoys bolder language or being addressed in a certain way. That way, when the moment arrives, there's no guesswork and no hesitation. Done with warmth and confidence, the right words at the right time are like adding fuel to a fire that was already burning. Number 3, controlled intensity and purposeful physical presence. A surprising number of women genuinely enjoy being held firmly, having their movement guided, or feeling the deliberate strength of their partner. Not because pain is the goal, and not because they want to feel overpowered in any negative sense, but because feeling your physical presence in a controlled, intentional way makes them feel something very specific, both fiercely desired and completely safe at the same time. Biologically, firm, deliberate pressure activates deep pressure receptors in the skin, which can actually trigger the release of calming, bonding oxytocin even while the situation itself is stimulating and intense. That combination of physiological calm and excitement is a fascinating and powerful thing. Emotionally, she experiences what feels like a beautiful contradiction: your strength and her safety existing simultaneously. That's deeply, specifically erotic. From a practical standpoint, this begins with establishing a clear and simple safety system before you ever begin. Use a 3-color model if you like. Green means keep going, yellow means ease up slightly, red means stop completely and immediately. Begin with steady, purposeful grip at neutral areas like the hips, the waist, or the small of the back. If she responds positively to hair involvement, keep your grip close to the scalp and move in a single controlled direction. For anything like light impact, start far more gently than you think you need to and pay close attention to her breathing and body language. Pair every moment of intensity with language that grounds her. Something as simple as "stay right here" or "I've got you." The formula that works every time is this: decisiveness combined with care creates something that feels genuinely electric. Number 2, role play and building a scenario together. You don't need elaborate costumes or a stage set. What you need is a willingness to step outside the familiar script for one evening and inhabit something different. From a biological angle, the brain is genuinely wired to seek out novelty. When something unexpected happens, dopamine spikes sharply, and that neurological response maps directly onto heightened arousal. On the emotional side, she gets to feel playful, imaginative, and temporarily freed from the identity she carries around in everyday life. For couples who've been together for years, this kind of intentional novelty can reignite something that the comfort of routine has gradually muffled. Practically speaking, bring it up lightly and without pressure. Something like, "I had a kind of fun idea. Would you want to try a little scenario one night this week?" Then offer 2 specific options rather than leaving it open-ended. You might suggest something like strangers who meet for the first time at a hotel bar, or a massage therapist and a very willing client. Keep the first attempt brief. 10 to 15 minutes is more than enough to test the waters. Let it end with laughter if it goes there, because laughter during intimacy is actually a beautiful thing, and it builds connection rather than breaking it. If it lands well, build on it the next time. The point isn't acting ability. The point is unlocking a new dynamic between 2 people who already trust each other deeply. Number 1, the pattern interrupt, deliberately breaking the predictable routine. This is the most underestimated tool available to you, and almost no one talks about it directly. Here's the core insight. The female brain is specifically drawn to surprise and novelty. When your intimate life follows an identical sequence every single time, her desire system essentially starts to coast. It doesn't disappear, but it stops firing at full capacity. Change even one element of that sequence and you wake the whole system up again. Biologically, novelty triggers a fresh dopamine response, essentially rebooting the arousal system and bringing genuine excitement back into something that had started to feel automatic. Emotionally, she perceives your willingness to try something different as evidence that you're still genuinely curious about her, that you're not just going through familiar motions, but actively engaged in the experience of being with her. That matters enormously. In terms of what to actually do, if the bedroom is always where things begin, start one evening on the couch or somewhere unexpected. If the lights are always low, try a single candle placed nearby. If the pace is always slow and languid, dedicate one evening entirely to urgency and intensity. If things always follow the same sequence, rearrange the order. None of these changes need to be dramatic or complicated. Small, intentional differences are enough to completely shift the energy and keep her genuinely engaged in anticipating what comes next. So here is what I want you to take away from everything we've covered today. Don't attempt all 6 of these at once. That's not the move. Instead, choose the one idea from this list that resonates most with you and introduce it thoughtfully and naturally. Once that one feels comfortable and established, add another layer. And always, always check in with her as you go. Even something brief and whispered, like, "Is this good or do you want more?" is enough to keep the experience feeling safe and mutual. Maintain a tone that is warm, grounded, present, and genuinely confident. And remember, above all else, none of this is about executing tricks or following a technique manual. It's about constructing a shared space, playful and safe, and full of real desire, where both of you feel genuinely wanted, genuinely respected, and genuinely turned on by each other. Maybe a voice in the back of your head is saying something like, "But what if she laughs at me? What if I try something and it completely falls flat?" Here's what I want you to hear in response to that. She is not looking for flawless execution. She is looking for your presence. She wants to feel that you care enough about her experience to take a small risk, to be slightly uncertain, to step outside the comfortable and familiar if it means deeper connection between the 2 of you. That is what intimacy actually is. That is what real courage between partners looks like. And I can tell you with complete confidence that most women would take one genuinely thoughtful, slightly imperfect new attempt over endless predictable repetition every single time. Men, let me leave you with this. Your age is not the end of passion,